In Dinner Party, you'll be playing the host of a dinner party where the guests are famous and infamous people. Each player is trying to get the best guest to their table while sending the worst to their opponents, including Hitler. That jerk showed up uninvited. Again. Let's do a quick setup and then jump into gameplay. Place Hitler in the middle of the table. Use the side of the appropriate player number printed on it. You'll have 5 decks of guests in the middle of the table, like so. The deck size will be determined by the number of players. Each player will have 3 envelope tokens. The rest are set aside. Make a bar using the drinks tokens to the side, and the front of each player will be their dinner table. The first player will get the white summary card, while the other players get the black ones. You're now ready to receive your guests. Your goal is to get more varied guests with different views and alignments at your table by the end of the game. The game is played in 4 phases: charm guests, invite guests, visit the bar, and hosting. Let's take a look at inviting guests. First, you name one of the guests in the middle. It could even be Hitler. Then you will roll the 3 dice, and you do get to re-roll some of the dice 2 more times. If you roll less than the guest's demand, you fail to invite them. If you made it, place the guest to your table. The next guest you invite, you will need to choose to place them on the left or right of the current guest you have sitting, and you can't put them in between guests. Some guests also have this icon, which means the ability triggers when they are seated at the table. For example, Hitler has the icon which relocates him to another table. If there are still cards in the stack when you invited them from the lobby, place a new guest into the lobby. Before you say this is a luck-based game with rolling of dice, keep in mind you have 2 rerolls and also 3 ways of modifying your rolls with special abilities. Pleasant guests have green arrows that make it easier to invite guests next to them, and some guests have red arrows which makes it harder to get new guests to sit next to them. You can also increase numbers with drinks, which brings me to the next phase: visit the bar. If you have drink icons on your dice after inviting your guests, you can use these to get drinks and add them to your personal stash. 1 drink icon gets you 1 water, 2 icon gives you 2 waters or 1 wine. Drinks can be used to invite guests, and when they are used, the guests will move to your table and keep the drinks with them. Also, in the next phase, hosting, you get to give some of your stash drinks to your current guests who are not drinking, or replace their water with wine. This will make it harder for other hosts to steal your guests, and this lowers the demand value. If you want to steal a guest from another player, you need to use one of your envelopes and announce which guest you want to invite to your dinner party. The host of that guest tries to entertain them using the dice and drinks to make sure they don't leave their dinner party. At the end of the turn, if there are 2 empty guest decks, the end game is triggered and dinner is served. You get 1 point of each guest at your table, except for Hitler, of course. Check the occupation or interests at the bottom of your guest cards, and the more variety you have, the more points you'll score. Finally, some guests have this icon, which triggers ability that only happen when dinner is served. And the player with the most point wins, as their dinner party is the best. Dinner Party is a fun little game where you also learn about people you might never have heard of. The replay value is good since not all guests are used each game, and there are 89 guests total. Gameplay is quick and has a bit of that take that element and good player interaction. Trying to combo out guests to maximize points is also a fun little puzzle you're trying to solve. For more information on Dinner Party, go check out their Kickstarter page, and if you like it, back it. Subscribe now to our channel to stay in the loop. If you like our work, help us continue by sharing the channel to your gaming group. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.